Nice and slow through turn one. However, they're stacked up in 3 wide in turn number 2. This will get tight, boys and girls. Shelby Ramirez on the inside. Reagan Seville gets shoved all the way up the hill, and he'll lose probably about 4 or 5 spots in the process.
Yeah, Reagan Seville continuing his bumpy weekend, just continues to get shuffled out there. You can see them go side by side a little bit through the chicane, down the back straightaway. There's a group from about 4th on back. There goes Seville trying to make more moves. That's on Shelby Ramirez. That's about for 7th there. Josie Chambers is up at the front of that group. You can see as well in that battle looks to be Ava Bellum back there with Seville following him through. So the front 4 have gotten away here on the opening lap with Josie Chambers up at the front of the group.
Yeah, towards the start-finish line, you can see the front 4 are all nose to tail, right on top of each other. Sawyer Roussel, we've seen him be really aggressive and really confident on the brakes to make some moves. Here's a group side-by-side for 3rd there as Jensen Harrell pulled alongside Derek Wargo, didn't end up going by, and that gives a little bit of a gap with that aborted pass. That's empty for 3rd. Down the back we go, though. Josie Chambers in that number 345 Beryl Art still leads the way. He'll come to put 2 laps in the books this time. Jensen Harrell there, I think a little bobble getting into Derek Wargo, says, no, go back ahead in front of me. Good sportsmanship to see.
Yeah, certainly. And Wargo went a little bit wider as a result. They lost a little bit of time, but nothing that you can't make up here down the front straightaway. And again, Joseph Chambers setting a nice pace at the front, but Reagan Seville from 6 going purple. So he's quicker than this group of 4, but they have about a 2.5 on the next group.
Yeah, they have a big gap here. Now, Reagan Seville, great job moving forward to get away from everyone in that group. Look at the battle between Robert Arana and I believe Weston Criddle right behind. You saw Arana get a little bit out of shape right there in the battle for 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th all the way down. Ramirez looking to the inside. This will be a deep send, side by side, and a hip check to Weston Criddle. His hand goes in the air. He was not happy about that. He'll lose 1, maybe 2 more spots as they cycle out through the chicane.
Yeah, very rough going in there. You can see Criddle got the worst end of it. Now back to the front, you can see Josie Chambers has made a little bit more ground up here. He is now a solid 7/10 clear of the battle for 2nd. Wargo and Harrell battling it out here. They've both dropped Sawyer Roussel. So a little bit more space between the top 4, and behind them, Regensville continuing to set a blistering pace in 5th.
Yeah, that was with, of course, Derek Wargo making the move to get to 2nd. It's good news for Reagan Seville because he'll get a toe off Roussel. Jensen Harrell now going to try and go by Derek Wargo. He will. Gets clear for 2nd. Signals back, says, all right, no, I pushed you for a little bit. I'd rather you push me, and I think that'll work better for both of us. And they didn't lose any time in the exchange. They're still right there on Josie Chambers. Sawyer Roussel, check this out for 4th. Reagan Seville caught him, looks to the inside, gets by him in turn number 1, and the number 1 plate moves back to 4th.
Yeah, easy enough there for Reagan Seville. He gets himself into that 4th spot. Now the top 3 have kind of confined back together. You can see Chambers had that big lead. Now, though, Harrell and Wargo are right there with him. As they come down the back straightaway, you have to think Harrell might be looking, but instead he decides to just push out Chambers ahead. So as they come through into the back hairpin, all 3 neck and neck here coming on to complete lap number 6.
Yeah, Jensen Harrell taking 2 looks back over his shoulder over the course of 2 corners. I think he's probably thinking that he's faster than Derek Wargo and Josie Chambers might be as well, that maybe he can push him away. Wargo was shaking his head there as he came across the start-finish line. Maybe a little bit too much teeth, too big of a sprocket, because he was really just running out of steam, it looked like, at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, you can see just losing a 1/10 to 2/10 right at the end there, and that will compromise him. We'll keep an eye on that coming on this next straightaway. Not quite as high revs on the back straightaway, but even then you can still see those 2 at the front pushing are enabling them to get just that little bit further ahead. And behind them, Reagan Seville continuing to set a really fast pace. That last time of 42.7, there he is, only about 6 kart lengths back at this point.
Through the chicane there, down the front stretch, Josie Chambers, still the leader. Harrell looks back, sees that he's made a little bit of a distance opener back to Derek Wargo. Not too much. They were pretty much bang on even that time by around 3/10 apart.
Yeah, Wargo really putting a lot of pressure on them through the corners. He's really good at the center of turns 1, 2, and 3, and it's kind of keeping him up there. You can see as he comes out of the chicane, he's going to lose a little bit of time here, but still, those front 2 pushing are not able to get away from the comp kart machine and your pole sitter in Derek Wargo. And now he continues to find a little bit more pace, though, as they're going to go side by side into the chicane. Harrell thinks better of it, but it's going to lead to all 3 of them kind of stacking up a little bit more, and all of that's allowing Regensville to get closer and closer to the front.
Yeah, every bit helps. This will help some more. Jensen Harrell saying, dude, what are we doing? All right, let's go back forward. I want to lead. I think I'm better to lead this one. And Josie Chambers going to give him the opportunity. He tucks in line behind. Wargo third, but just that one pass. That's 2 more tenths in the hat of Reagan Seville. He's almost into the draft. That GFC Kart closing up as they head down the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see Harrell really pleading his case with everyone to work with him, and so far it's worked pretty well. He looks to have the Kart to beat at least among these top 3. You have to wonder how patient guys like Josie Chambers or Derek Wargo will be. Wargo seems to have really kind of found a rhythm these last couple of laps. He was struggling to hang on. Now we'll see he'll lose a little bit probably down the straightaway, but still through those first few corners of the track, he has so much speed in that comp car.
Through turn 1, we go once again over to 2. Jensen Harrell, Josie Chambers getting towards crunch time. A minute plus 2 laps to go in the Seville Electric 206 Junior class. Reagan Seville, he made up a lot of time the last few laps. Now the leaders have kind of gone a little bit faster, and he's stabilized at about 4 to 5 car lengths back from Derek Wargo. He needs another pass or two. The number 1 maybe peaking too early. I'm not sure, but for Reagan Seville, it looked like he was going to rocket his way up there, and then he's kind of just stayed in his bubble about half a second away.
Well, it's interesting, too, because the more they push, the more it hurts him comparatively. Because right now, he's right on the edge of the draft, so he will be quicker than the front 2. But as you see Wargo drop back a bit down the straight, that actually helps Seville, as I was saying that. But in general, the more that those top front 3 start pushing, even though Seville has the draft, it still won't help him as much. And now Wargo back there kind of renders my point useless, but still, those top 2 now have about a 5 car length gap over Wargo, and Seville's arrived on the scene to try to pass Derek Wargo.
Here we go down to the hairpin. Seville there on the bumper, doesn't go into turn number 6. The timer has hit 0. This time by will be 2 laps to go for Seville Electric 206 Junior. And as they cross the start-finish line straight, Josie Chambers, a quick look over the shoulder. Jensen Harrell sees that signal as well. He's not going to block into turn 1. He'll open up normally. And with them passing for 3rd, that'll make the gap a little bigger. Seville now into P3.
Yeah, Seville realized he had to go for it there. Wargo just did not have the pace down the straightaway, and really throughout the whole entire last lap. And now you can see it is Jensen Harrell as well as Josie Chambers working together. Seville's already put a little bit of a gap to Wargo, but it's going to take a lot more than that to be able to catch the front 2.
Yeah, this time by the white flag will wave. 1 lap to go. Jensen Harrell, Josie Chambers through the chicane, onto the front straightaway. Final time around North Texas Cartway for 206 Junior before the grid gets locked in for the main event tonight. Into turn 1. Still a normal line from Jensen Harrell. Josie Chambers happy to push for now.
Yeah, Chambers there stayed in line, just content to push. In the meantime, Harrell kind of trusts him to do that. He's already seen him push for the last 3 or 4 laps. Not willing to sacrifice any time to go to finish when they come through the chicane. Conservative lines for push. You can see Harrell pull a little bit. You can see Chambers take a look back and shake his head a little bit. He knows that he lost a little bit on the back straightaway there. It's not going to cost him a position behind, but it might well cost him a chance to end the race when he comes into the final chicane. You can see Harrell able to keep a good line here. The Chambers will have a shot down the front straightaway. I think that Harrell's got it, and yes, he does. Jensen Harrell to win P3 here in race 206.
Behind him, Josie Chambers in second, and just happy to run there. Look at this side by side of the line. Oh no, Sawyer Roussel collides with one driver coming to the stripe. That was a 308 of Landon Welker, and they both somehow crossed the line 7th and then 8th for Welker. So I think it was right after they got across the stripe, but awkward way to finish.